Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to give a couple more minutes to allow more participants to trickle in. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, again, for joining us today, for joining us in this webinar, Navigating Government Contracting in partnership with the Apex Accelerator Program and the Cook County Small Business Source Program. For those that don't know, the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit organization and was founded in 1990 as the Mexican American Chamber of Commerce. Since then, we've scaled to be the largest and most impactful chamber of commerce in the Midwest and have various programs that allow us to provide resources and knowledge and assistance to small business owners. One of the programs that I'll be mentioning today is the Cook County Small Business Source Program, which is the program that allowed us to host this webinar today. The Cook County Small Business Source Program is a resource for small business owners in the Cook County area. We provide one-on-one business advising, education opportunities like these for webinars or in person, and resources, connections within our network that can help you strive with your business. In-house, we also have a group of different programs within our hub. We have a variety of programs that allow us to do different business advising, whether it's for a trucking and hauling company, whether you're looking to get certified or are looking for program assistance with navigating government contracting, which is who I'm going to present today. And he'll talk a little bit more about his program. And we have today is Oscar.
Thank you for the introduction, Kayla, and thank you for the Cook County Small Business Force team. Do you want to get to the next slide, please? Yeah, pretty much the chamber. So yeah, again, thank you everyone. Although we have different programs, we all belong to the IHC, the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So as Kayla mentioned, we're one of the most influential chambers of commerce, not only in the Chicagoland area, but in the whole Midwest. So again, we offer different resources and tools, as well as a lot of networking opportunities to everyone that's interested in learning more about the IHC. So it's either you becoming a member, If you know someone that can sponsor an event, or even you as a business owner sponsor an event, and even just sign up for our services. So one part of the chamber is to, again, is one of them is the membership side, but then the other side of it is the technical assistance that we provide through our programs. So please be on the lookout for those and really consider learning more about the chamber. So next, please. So I know, as I mentioned, and as Kayla briefly mentioned, we have around 6 or 7 different programs here in the chamber. However, for this session, we're only going to be focusing on the program that I run, the program that I'm the director for, which is the Illinois Apex Accelerator Program. Again, this program is ran on a national level. However, each state or region has its own chapter, if you want to call it. So again, I am here on behalf of both the IHEC and the Illinois Apex Accelerator Program. So I guess with that, we can get started. Do you want to go next? Nice. All right. So right now it's a 2 people team here for the Apex for short. We're gonna call it Apex for short. So it's a 2 people team here at the chamber. Before I dive into what the program is, as I mentioned, it's a state run program. So there's about different centers across the entire state. We represent one of those, right? So again, it's a 2 people team here. You can see a picture of our team. It's Alejandra Natera, our project coordinator, as well as myself, Oscar Gutierrez, the director. So again, we have different responsibilities and tasks, but sometimes most of our duties kind of overlap, and we're here pretty much to help each other out and essentially our clients. So again, I know the main topic for this will be the certifications, and I will briefly touch on how to leverage those certifications to go into government contracting. But in case you're interested in learning more about the program, this is essentially what we offer. So again, personalized business counseling, market research when it comes to government contracts. Of course, we provide a lot of training, one-on-one training and networking opportunities, not just through the IGC, but through our program itself at a state level. At the end of the day, the goal is to help, help find those opportunities and government contracting opportunities for you guys. So this could happen through, reaching out to different government agencies, different, procurement officers at all levels. And most importantly, of course, all of our services are offered at no cost to you guys once you sign up for our services. Again, we don't need to dive deeper into this. We'll explain it as we go. But if you're really interested, you should definitely reach out to us or reach out to Kayla, so you guys can get at least a brief, sense or sneak peek of what the program is all about. I think I saw a question in the chat. Yes, this slides can be shared. I don't know if the Cook County Small Business Source will show them, but absolutely they can be shared. So oh, I don't think I can. There you go. All right. So really quick, this is essentially, if you guys are interested in the program, before we talk about the certifications, this is essentially how we run the program. Pretty much we conduct a business assessment, and this is pretty important. I like, highlighting this because although the program, you know, focuses on helping small businesses get into government contracting, or at least, providing the right resources and tools on more of a technical aspect, we still have to conduct an assessment as to just to see whether the program will be a good fit for your business or not. So the literally the original description for the program is that it's a program focused on already well-established business owners with a well-established clientele that could grow and scale their business. In other words, there's a few criteria that a business owner has to meet in order to fully take advantage of the program. We don't turn anyone away. However, in order for you to best be a good fit for the program and really take advantage of it, we have to conduct an assessment. The reason for this is because sometimes it might be a little bit overwhelming if you're not at that stage already yet. So we take care of that. And even if you struggle with it, our job is to, help you and make sure that you understand everything that we're explaining to you. But again, I'll say it again, the program it might not be a good fit for everyone. However, we always give them a chance to try it out and see whether they want to proceed or maybe, wait a few months and just get themselves that experience needed in order for you guys to be ready. So that's our business assessment. And just to give you quick examples, I listed some of the things that we talk about on our meetings. So having a capability statement, that's key. If you guys don't know what a capability statement is, it's basically a resume for your company, a one pager that will help you better solidify your services into one single place for you to do marketing, networking, and pretty much talk about government contracting. When it comes to applications, we help you guys review your applications on certifications or different proposals out there. Oh yeah, you can show them. I forgot we had that. Can you show it again? That's basically a capability statement. Again, we don't need to dive deeper into this, but essentially, if you've never heard about this, again, you guys should definitely reach out to me because I can help you with it, or our team can help you with it. But for those of you that are familiarized with the capability statement, this is essentially what it has to include. Basically, a brief description, core competencies of your services, as well as differentiators. That's pretty important. What makes you different than your competition, past performance, or in other words, experience, which is essential. I don't think you can even try to think of going into government contracting without having experience. And I mean, by experience, I mean the company experience, not just as an individual who might have had a 20 years of experience, but you just open up your business. They don't look at the owner, they look at the company itself. Next codes, they are pretty
Really
much.
quick question, Oscar. How many years do you recommend normally for small business owners to begin with
It
state?
It's always an interesting question, and it's not a matter of years, but rather a matter of experience. I can open up a business and maybe have a lot of experience within the first 6 months, meaning contracts, invoices, getting clients, as opposed to someone that opened up their business 2 years ago or their LLC, but hasn't done anything, hasn't generated revenue, hasn't created any leads, or pretty much performed their services or sold any products. So again, it's not a matter of years, but rather a matter of actually getting clients and working out there. That's a good question. So again, you need that to go into government contracting. I know that experience will come from the private sector, meaning companies, corporations, but you need that in order for you to go into government contracting, the public sector. So again, next codes, pretty much these are 6-digit codes that encompass your services or products. And of course, any experience with clients, you should include those logos there. Again, you guys don't need to fully understand this right now. But if you down the line, if you're really interested in government contracting, you will need a capability statement for your business, and we will be more than happy to help you guys with that. Can you quickly go back to the oh yeah. So again, that's pretty much how our process works. We start with that business assessment, and then as you go, as you see fit, we will tackle or approach the meeting differently depending on your services, your industry, your experience, clients, and overall your business stage at the moment. Ultimately, the goal is for you to access the bidding portals, navigate them yourselves, and find RFPs or RFIs. In other words, contracts. We can go next. So again, procurement portals, pretty much once you've learned how to leverage, let's say you've gone through the capability statement creation. You have your capability statement, and now the next step is for us to teach you how to leverage that capability statement, how to use it, and pretty much how to start bidding on these portals, right? So first step will be for you to actually register your business on this portal. First one, most importantly, will be SAM.gov. SAM.gov essentially it stands for System Award Management. So essentially, it's for two things. First one is for a lot of companies or organizations like us to find grant opportunities from the government at a federal level. That's one. But the other side of it is pretty much finding government contracts at the federal level, regardless of which route you want to go. And I know that we're only going to be talking about government contracts. You need to be registered on SAM.gov before you even think of getting into government contracting. That's like essentially the main directory of businesses in the entire nation for you to be considered for government contracting. It's quite it's a long process. I don't want to say it's that easy. It's definitely not an overnight thing. They ask for a lot of information, documents, supporting documentation. So it takes a few days, maybe a few weeks, but we can definitely help you with that. So again, if you're really interested in government contracting, not only will you have to register for a few websites here, but you also have to have internal organization when it comes to documents. We emphasize that a lot. It's not just you saying, yes, we have these invoices or our balance sheet looks like this, and we have generated so much revenue, or we have these many clients. It's all about internal control and how you organize your own structure internally. Um, to put it into a different perspective, when you go into SAP.gov, they will ask for supporting documentation on and pretty much all your financials, balance sheets, credit card statement, taxes, both individual and the company taxes. That's just to name a few. And then on a legal aspect, they will ask for your operating agreement, corporate bylaws, meetings. What else am I missing? There's quite a few documents. Some of these need to be notarized. So again, it's a long list of documents, as well as filling out the information, but we can help you with that. And as I mentioned, this is the most important website, platform, or portal that you want to be registered on. It's the main thing. If you feel that you're struggling with it, or maybe you don't have all the documents to be registered on SAM.gov, that might be a first indicator that you might not be ready at this time, right? Again, government contracting, the goal is for everyone to access this government contracting world, but sometimes it takes a few years for you to grab that experience, the clients and all that, especially when it comes to the documentation. So it might not be a good fit for you right now, but that's what we're here, and that's what we offer, the assistance. I see a hand. Anna, yeah, you can go ahead. I don't know if attendees are able to talk. Oh, wait, I got it. I think I got it.
Can you
You
hear
should,
me?
yeah. You will have
I,
to, there it is. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm talking to myself. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we submitted the DBE, they asked for pretty much all the documents that you're mentioning right now. So can we just transfer that? When you reapply or do stuff, like they just take that information from the B2G. No, I'm not sure if you can just transfer that documentation, or it's a separate application.
There are separate applications. DBE is a certification. SAM.gov is a registration portal. So they're two completely different avenues, two completely different things. And while some of these documents may be useful for the SAM.gov registration, there are also a lot of more documents that you probably didn't use for the DBE, if that makes sense. Again, I will be sending you guys links so you can take a look at sam.gov and see what type of documents they require. It's pretty straightforward. It's not the easiest process just because they ask for a lot of information and sometimes it gets kind of confusing, but it's not that complicated either. They actually have it on their website. They have a checklist and a walkthrough process. It's a PDF where they can show you step by step how to register your business, as well as what documents you can use to suffice each requirement.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was a good question. So again, that's the main portal. Regardless of whether you want to go into the state and local government or federal level, you have to be registered on sam.gov. And sometimes a few agencies might not require you to do so, and that's fine. But essentially, whenever you're entering the government contracting world, at some point you'll be asked to be registered on sam.gov. So you might want to get that out of the way just at the beginning so you don't have any problems down the line. So again, that's the most important one. And then of course, going local and state level, the city of Chicago, DPS, Department of Procurement Services, has its own platform as well. You can register there, find opportunities there, different contracts, past contracts, maybe look at what the government, recently purchased in the past or a few years back. You can also take a look at Cook County government. They have a really good website when it comes to, again, past contracts and open solicitations currently. And then if you want to take a look at the state level, their portal it's called their portal is called BitBuy. Again, that's the entire Illinois area, and it does not include, let's say, city of Chicago, because that's a separate thing, but it covers the entire region of Illinois. So again, you also want to check that website out and register on it. It's just a few questions about your business. It's nothing major. And then just to show you a quick example, if you're interested in looking at opportunities for data or analytics from the federal level, from the federal government, you can go to usaspending.gov. It's a great tool. It's a great website. It's full of different resources and data. We use it to conduct market research and help our clients find opportunities that have been recently awarded, or even you can go a few years back. So what do I mean by that? Essentially, whenever you're entering the government contracting space, you wanna do a little bit of research. You want to do a little bit of market research and see whether the government has bought your products or services in the past, and how long ago was that, or how often they do it, what's the volume, what's the quantity, is there a forecast for that? Are they expecting to buy something in the next couple of years? So we can help you with that. And USA Spending is a great website for that. It's pretty interactive, pretty user friendly, and it gives you tons and tons of data. So it's pretty cool. You guys can check it out. Again, it's free to use. You actually don't need to register for that one, so you can just try it out yourself. And the best way to use it, approach it, we recommend that you use, let's say you're in the construction industry, you can look for these type of contracts based on your NAICS codes. I know I briefly mentioned it in the capability statement, NAICS codes. So the first thing you want to do is identify your NAICS codes. These codes, it's not something you purchase, but rather something you just identify. So you go on the NAICS code website and you type in the types of products or services that you sell, and then you select the codes that you like the most, or the ones that are a better fit for your company. You may only have one, maybe three, maybe five, maybe you can have up to 10. It's different. It depends on the industry, and it's different for each business. So again, I highly recommend that you guys go on USA Spending, play around with the website, find data on it, and yeah, you're pretty much conducting your own market research for government contracts based on your business. And this is all federal level. Any questions? Maybe someone wants to raise their hand. I know there was a lot of information. I try to keep it concise, but sometimes it's really hard for me to keep it concise since I don't like giving just the tip of the iceberg sort of thing information. I like, at least giving you guys a good sense of information, or a good amount of information for you to ask those questions, and not, diving deep into it either. So again, I know it might be overwhelming, and it is. Government contracting is definitely overwhelming. It is not easy. Otherwise, everyone will be doing it. So yeah, I guess we can go next. So let's talk about solicitations, pretty much, or in other words, government contracts. These are the type of opportunities that you guys will be running into at all levels. Call it local, city of Chicago, Cook County, or state in Illinois, or federal level, across all states. The most popular one, the most normal solicitation type out there is the RFI, request for information. It's pretty much the government posting RFIs, so you guys can actually have a better sense of what they will be asking for in a project or in a contract, right? So this is them doing a little bit of market research, if you want to call it. So let's say I'm the government and I want to purchase bottles of water. Uh, Before I even open up a solicitation for that, I want to see what the market is looking like. So I want to see whether there are companies that could, provide me those services or products, in this case, bottles of water, and what the pricing will be. So this is called request for information. They're literally just requesting information from you, for you to see, for you to offer them your bottles of water at different prices and quantities. So again, in other words, it's the government doing market research to see whether it's convenient for them to launch it as an open solicitation, or maybe just retract and change a little bit of the details or project specs, and then revamp it and do it again. So again, depending on what the market, meaning business owners, provide information to the government, then they'll make a decision. It could be also like a proposal, which takes me to my next step. Second one, it's called RFP. It's a request for proposal. So pretty much, it's the way the government, or as it says there, it's a process and documentation for a bid solicitation. In other words, it's a process the government conducts for them to find out more information when it comes to services. It's the first one is more towards, could be both products and services, but this one is very specifically to services. So let's say I have a consulting services firm, and the government is asking for something similar. They're gonna ask for a proposal, right? So in my proposal, I get to decide what the pricing for my services is. When it comes to products like bottles of water, pricing out there does not fluctuate that much, right? The competition stays kind of similar. But when it comes to services, it's pretty subjective, right? I could be offering services for $1, and then my competition could be offering the same services for $10. So again, it's pretty subjective, and hence the reason they request for these proposals. In such proposals, you guys will write your price. You will come up with your pricing strategy, as well as what the solution will be that you will be offering the government, right? So whether this is a new system implementation, changing procedures, maybe training staff, or more like a project management tool, it depends, right? It depends. But again, when it comes to request for proposal, it's mostly for services, could also include products, but it's pretty subjective and it fluctuates. The third one, it's sort of like a progress. The first one is request for information, market research. Let's see if what's out there. Request for proposal is mostly for services, but the government already has a project in place. They just want to find the best solution, or the best company. And then the third one is very, very, very specifically specific for products. So RFQs, request for quantity or quotation, is pretty much the government saying, I need 5,000 bottles of water. What is your price? That's it. It's for a specific amount, for a specific good. There's not much thought into it. And the main driving criteria, or the main driving criteria is pricing. What I mean by that is, that's the main, if you want to call it, the government makes a decision based on pricing. It's the main thing. It's not always the case, but pricing is the most important thing. So let's say My competition is offering the bottles of water, the same bottles of water I am offering, but they're offering for 50 cents less each bottle. They're definitely going to go with them because they're going to be saving a lot of money depending on the volume of bottles of water. But maybe my strategy or my proposal says that I will not only be providing you with bottles of water, but also great customer service, or making sure that the bottles get delivered specifically where you want to go right on time. So there's ways to play around it. So yes, pricing is the most important thing. Sometimes it could be it could pass to the second level if you're offering something else on top of it. Again, I know that was a lot, specifically when doing this online, since I'm not seeing you guys. I like seeing faces, reactions, expressions, so I can be more interactive with you guys. However, this is really important. This is what you want to see. So learn those words: RFI, RFP, RFQ. The more you learn about government contracting, the more familiar you will be with these words as you enter the government contracting space. These are, again, just to recap, different types of solicitations or contracts out there. There's many more different types that you'll learn, but just for the purpose of this session, these are the main ones and the most important ones. So now going to certifications. So a big part of government contracting, or a key significant, driving factor into government contracting, especially in our economy and our environment, are minority certifications. And before I start talking about certifications, there's a misconception out there that people believe that you need minority certifications to go into government contracting, and that is absolutely wrong. You don't need these certifications to go into government contracting, and vice versa. Even if you get the certification, these certifications, it doesn't entitle you to any contracts. It's not like they're going to be knocking on your doors at handing you contracts, right? So again, that's the first misconception. You don't need them to go into government contracting. However, they're extremely helpful, and they can come in really handy when it comes to the bidding process. The reason I say that is because the government has these procedures or guidelines in place called government spend goal. Government spend goal pretty much means that for every contract out there, a certain percentage of the money amount or of the award needs to be allocated to companies that hold these certifications. In other words, somewhere between 5 to 20% of every government contract needs to be allocated to certified companies, not just minority owned, but certified. All right. So these could be certifications at the local, at the state level, at the federal level. And they're all based on your minority status or women status, also veteran, also socially disadvantaged, or as the last one that you see down there, the hub zone, just merely based on the location of where your facility or your office or your business is located. So there's many different certifications out there. Just to give you a quick rundown. The first one is one of the most popular ones, minority business enterprise or women business enterprise. That one can be obtained at the local, state, or federal level. Oh, I see a question in the chat. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you for the question, Perla. That's a really interesting question. I will answer the question right before I finish this slide. Um, no, you can go back. Yeah. Again, these certifications can be found at the local, state, and federal level, and I know there's a lot of them. I could come up with a long list. Just for the purpose of this webinar, I will not be talking about all of them. However, I will be only touching on the most popular, most relevant, and most important ones. So you will see these names pretty often out there: MBE, WE, BEP. So keep that in mind because you will be hearing these often. So again, the first one is at the local, state, level. Could also be found at the federal level, and depending on the level, they sort of change the name. To give you an example, the second one, the Business Enterprise Program, the BEP, That's the name the government that the state of Illinois gave to its certification or to their minority certification. So in other words, it's the same as the first one with the city, but it's just the way the state named it. The third one, it's disadvantaged business enterprise. That one is actually they focus a little bit more on the transportation industry, but it's essentially based on two factors. Um, you being socially disadvantaged, meaning belonging to a minority and you were discriminated, and your financials, pretty much whether you don't go above a monetary threshold, you will qualify. But this threshold is millions of dollars. So most of the clients that we assist, I want to say 99.99% of the clients that we assist qualify for this certification. And then the last one, as I mentioned, is just basically just based on where your office, facility, or business is located. So to answer, I don't know if you guys can see Perla's question on the chat. She's asking about the different certifications available at all different government levels. And while this may get confusing, we can definitely assist you with that. But essentially is the way each level, brand, or name or referred to of each different program. So as I mentioned, BEP, Business Enterprise Program, is the same as MBE. It's just the name that the state of Illinois gave them. So again, MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, WBE, Women Business Enterprise, DBE, and all that. She also mentioned the 8A certification. That one is very specifically I don't know if you guys can see it in the chat, and that one is at the federal level. More of a certification is a program. It's a long program where you essentially have to create a narrative and pretty much give a description or explain why you were socially disadvantaged while conducting business, or trying to sell your product or services, or something you might have experienced. And then once you create that narrative, they will pretty much train you into getting not only just certified, which means, again, we have to think about this. Certified is not just buying or requesting something. They will do a lot of due diligence on you as an individual, all the owners, as well as your services, right? Your products, your company, your operations, how you control operations, how you run your business, who are your clients, all of those things. So again, the 8A, it's a really complex, challenging certification slash program to be part of, but we can definitely assist you with that. And then which ones? Uh, Pretty much the difference between there are no differences between them other than the type of government level that they're located at and what you want to use them for. So if you get certified at the federal level, you'll be pretty much certified nationally, and you'll be able to use the certification for for government contracts at the federal level. But let's say I'm certified with the city of Chicago, which is where we're located right now, and I see an opportunity from the state of Illinois. Sometimes they will not take that certification and you will need the state certification. That's pretty much the difference. And it could also be the other way around. Let's say I have the state certification and I see an opportunity with the city, but they're only accepting certifications with the city. Then I will not be able to use my state certification to bid on that contract. I gotta clarify this. It does not mean that you cannot bid on the contracts. You can bid on the contracts, you just will not be able to use your certification. In other words, you will just be bidding regularly as a normal company, not as a certified company, which means that your competition automatically becomes way larger because you will not be that target, that 5 to 20% allocation target. You will be on the other percentage. You'll be on the other side of the percentage. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So let's see, another question. Okay, is it important to hold the MBE or BP, or is it the same thing? Kind of a two question here. So it is always important to hold these certifications as long as you qualify for them. If you don't qualify for them, then it's not going to affect you. So, but if you qualify for them, of course, it's important to hold them. That specifically. So let's say your question was more towards the MBE and BEP. MBE is with the city of Chicago and BEP is with the state of Illinois. If you qualify for both of them, and if you can get both of them, of course, have both of them. That way you'll be able to bid pretty much in the entire Illinois area, not only in the city, but also in the state. So you'll be pretty much covered to bid as a certified company. But let's say you're not certified and you just want to bid as a regular company. Of course, you can still do that. You'll just not be considered for that 5 to 20% allocation that goes specifically to certified companies, right? So again, I've always said it, you don't need the certifications. You don't. Do they come in handy? Of course. They place you at an advantageous spot when competing and bidding for competing with different companies. But let's say you don't qualify for them or you were not able to obtain them because you were missing certification. That's fine. Eventually you will have this certification. You will, have a better internal control so you can have a better application next time. But in the meantime, you could be out there bidding for contracts without being certified. But essentially, yes, if you qualify for them, that'll be ideal. Now, the other question is if you have a DBE but to a different state or whether you can, yeah, it's pretty much what I was just referring, comparing the different types of certifications across different agencies. So I know that specifically for DBEs, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, they might be able to recognize that certification with nearby states. So I've seen that and I noticed that. I've seen contracts that they say, this is an opportunity that will have a 7% spend goal on DBEs. And we accept DBEs from the nearby states. So Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan. So they're allowed to use your certification across pretty much the Great Lakes region. These region might expand sometimes and they might be accepting certifications from other different states farther down in the area, or or vice versa. Your certification your DBE certification with the city or state might be accepted in those states too. But to answer your question, it depends. It depends. And that's the best example I could give you. The DBE is the one that's mostly accepted regionally in the area. But the MBE, it depends on which agency you obtain it with. If you obtain it with the city of Chicago, it only works with the city of Chicago. Sometimes some companies in the private sector, let's say Walmart or Coca-Cola or I don't know, Best Buy, if they have these programs in place as well, spend goals, they might be asking you for a city certification because they don't have a certification in their program. So again, mostly the DBE, it's regional as well as the federal certifications. Those are the ones that you'll be able to use pretty much in different agencies and different regions, but not for the city ones. So let's say I am MBE certified with the city of Chicago and I want to sell my products to the city of Los Angeles, or I want to sell my services to the city of Los Angeles. In their solicitation, you'll see that they will be requesting that they have a 5 to, I don't know, 10% minority spend goal on MBEs with the city of Los Angeles. So that means that I will not be able to use my city of Chicago MBE because they're specifically requesting city of Los Angeles MBE. So that's where the difference lies. I don't see any other question in the chat. Okay. Yep, you're welcome. Again, so this is specifically for our region and more precisely the Cook County region or area. So as I was explaining to you, first one on your left is with the city of Chicago, right? This is very specific. They offer a minority business enterprise, which pretty much targets Asian, Black, Hispanic, Indian, and I think Pacific Islander. Yeah, there's specific ones right there. And then, of course, women as well, and then veteran. That's, again, with the city of Chicago. Main things to highlight here is that no matter which certification you get, it'll be good for 5 years as long as you renew it at the end of each year with an affidavit. In other words, just make sure that your business is still operational. You will literally just sign a document and submit it to the city, so you'll be good for 1 more year. So again, this is good for 5 years. After the end of these 5 years, you can restart the process and you can get certified again. This certification actually has a cost. It's a one-time non-refundable fee of $250, which is paid to the city. Again, the agency is the City of Chicago, DPS, or Cook County. They have a recognition process, in other words. So again, that's the only certification that actually has a cost, and the reason for that is because there's large volumes of people getting to wanting to get certified. Now, the one in the middle, again, it's also an MBE program, but the name the state gave it, they changed it to BEP, Business Enterprise Program. Pretty much eligibility, again, as long as you belong to one of the minority groups, or if you're a woman, business owner, or a veteran, you can get this certification with the state of Illinois. As I mentioned to you, it excludes the city of Chicago and Cook County when wanting to bid on contracts using the certification. As opposed as to the city, this certification is good for 7 years. Again, doing the same thing, a renewal process after each year, and it's actually free. The agency is called the CEI with the state of Illinois, so Commission on Equity and Inclusion. Again, if you qualify for both, might as well get both. But if you only qualify, let's say for the state, or I had an interesting question last week. There was this woman who owns a business, and she said she wanted to get certified with the city, with the state, because she qualifies for all of them. And I recommended her to do that in separate applications, of course. But then I asked her, where are most of your clients based? Like, where are most of your projects? Where are you selling most of your products and services? And she said, well, state of Illinois. And I asked her, are you selling to the city? Do you want to sell in the city? Do you have any clients in the city? And she said, not at all. So she pretty much, answered her own question, saying, well, yeah, you need the BEP. You might get the city one, although it only represents a small fee. It's also by the time that you input and put into having this certification. But if your target market is within the state and not the city, then don't even consider going into the city. Just get the state one. It's free. It's good for 7 years. And the process is going to be similar to the city. So again, it all depends on who your target audience is and what the purpose of your certification is. And then the last one, again, DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. This one, you can get it through many different agencies. The main ones, or the ones that we recommend the most, is, of course, CTA. I know the city also has a similar program, Metra, IDOT, and PACE. As I mentioned to you guys, this certification is a little bit more in regards towards the transportation industry, but it's open up for everyone. It's free. It's good for, I believe, 5 years as well, and doing the affidavit renewal process at the end of each year. I think the next slide is for you guys to scan the, nope, what is it? I removed it. But anyways, we'll share this with you guys. We'll share the link so you can have a better understanding and look at all the different websites. In general, these are the main requirements for these certifications. Again, at least 51% of the company needs to be owned by an individual or group of individuals who belong to a minority group or who happen to be woman or a person with a disability. At least 51%. And it's just not legally, it's not just on paper, but it has to show in the operations of the business, right? So let's say if I own a company and I want to bring in my wife and I want to give her 51% of ownership, it's not just on paper, it's not just legally. That person, in this case, my wife, she will need to show proof of her involvement in the company. So when a company is minority owned, the legal term for it is that the company is operated, managed, and controlled by this individual or group of individuals. So that person will need to show their involvement, their participation, their decision-making power on the company. So again, it's not just changing one paper legally, it's showing and having proof of their involvement in the company. As I said, it needs to be controlled or operated. And then third one, most importantly, every time we conduct our meetings, we have to ask that. I know it's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, but these certifications are only available for pretty much green card holders or citizens of the United States. And then just to give you a quick threshold that they use specifically for the I believe this is DBE. You can only qualify for this certification if your gross sales annually are less than 150 million. So again, pretty much 99% of our clients qualify for that. And then this is quickly just something that all certifications share. Three main things. First one, once you start the application, you will have a 90-day time window for you to submit this application, or 3 months. If you fail to do so, your application will be revoked and you will have to start the process again. Secondly, once you get awarded or once you get certified, you will be entered into these vendor database or directory system that each agency has. So right now, if I go on the city's website or state website, I can take a look at the companies that are certified within each agency, and I can filter them out by NAICS codes or products or services, city, state specific areas. And then third, and most importantly, as I mentioned to you guys at the beginning, no certification out there will guarantee you a government contract. Getting the certification is one thing, but you're just starting. You need to learn how to leverage that, and we can teach you how to leverage that certification. But again, competition is growing more every year. It's increasing. A lot of companies are getting certified too. So, it used to be maybe a niche market, but right now a lot of companies are certified out there. So there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of companies that offer your services and they offer the same products as you do. So again, it just because you got certified, it's not like they're gonna be coming and knocking on your door, getting you contracts. And then this is just a few analytics to give you a sense of how a program works, and what we do, how we help people. So really quick, based on a calendar year, we assisted 231 businesses, which translated into a little bit over 1,000 hours. We helped our clients in total retain and create 80 jobs. And then we only were able to certify eight businesses. I know this is not a huge number at all. It's actually pretty low, and it's not helping the program nor our metrics. But I like showing it there just to give you guys my perspective on this. We assisted 231 businesses. Out of those 231, I would say maybe 200 of those were interested in certifications. The other were interested in government contracting specifically, or maybe they did not qualify for the certification. Let's say 200 of those businesses were interested in certifications, and only 8 businesses were certified. That tells you that they were not, it doesn't tell you that they were not provided with the right tools or resources. It also does not tell you that we did not help them. It tells you that these people failed to commit to the program, failed to commit to their own business to get certified. I know it sounds harsh, but the reality of things when it comes to government contracting or certifications, we have a lot of people interested in it. We receive a lot of clients interested in them. But once we walk them through the process and show them there's the checklist, the documents that they will be asking for, the things that they got to do, the information that they need to provide, we just never hear back from them. It's overwhelming, it's intimidating sometimes, but it's also a lack of motivation internally in their business, and failing to commit to the program. So again, As I mentioned to you guys right at the beginning, this program, the Illinois Apex Accelerator program, is not for everyone. While we help you a lot with different tools and resources for you to, fully understand government contracting, at the end of the day, it's up to the business owner whether they commit to the program, whether they spend time and invest time on trying to get certified or trying to learn more about government contracting. We have a lot of resources and tools. We have a lot of expertise, but we're not magicians, right? We cannot make things happen out of the blue. It has to show, and it has to come from your own motivation and commitment as well. So again, hence the reason of that number. That number should have been close to 150, but it's only 8. So just put it into perspective. Just to wrap it up, again, we conducted 20 training events just like this, whether in person, online, workshops, certifications, government contracting. We provide a lot of that. And then the dollar amount of contracts awarded was extremely low, extremely low. We couldn't even reach 1 million. And I think it ties back to the commitment of clients to the program. But not just that, there's a lot of many different factors that we cannot control, such as who decides on who wins a contract, different bidding processes, and ultimately helping our clients find opportunities of what the government is looking for. Maybe if I sell bottles of water, maybe the government does not want to buy bottles of water today, not even in a month or next year. So that's something I cannot help with, right? So there's a lot of driving factors into that number, but it's not everything under our control. And I believe that was the last slide. Again, it's a 2-people team here at the Apex, at the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My contact info is there, my email address, as well as my assistant Alejandra's email. Feel free to reach out. Again, typically I tell this to clients. I don't hand out a lot of, I don't reach out to clients. There's a lot of clients reaching out to us. We had over 250 clients. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with them, but the best way I can help you is that if you reach out to me, we will always respond to you. If you want to set up a meeting with us, we will always schedule a meeting with you. But if we never hear back from you, or if we never met again, and let's say you didn't do your homework, or in other words, I told you to search on this or do a little bit of research on that, try out different websites or resources. If you don't do your thing on your end, it's going to be really hard for us to help you. Best way I can explain this, you're entering your own marathon. You're running your own marathon. We're just here on the sidelines supporting you at any time that you need us. But if you don't want to run, we cannot make you run. So that's the best analogy I can give you when it comes to government contracting. Call it RFPs, RFQs, certification, proposals, bidding portals, capability statement sample, NAICS codes. Call it what you want. We're here to help you, and we will be more than happy to help you, but we're not going to do the work for you, and we cannot force you to do the work. With that said, again, my contact info is there. Shoot me an email. We always respond. You can also check the IHC's or the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce website. Make sure to follow us on LinkedIn. It's where we post everything going on with the chamber. So again, I will give you guys a few minutes to ask a few questions on the chat. And I'll stick around here for a few minutes, and I'll pass it on to Kayla. Oh, right on time. You see, Kayla, I'm sharp. 11:01.
No, that was perfect. Thank you so much, Oscar, for all that great information you just shared. We do have one question in the Q&A section. Not direct, I think it was towards when you were mentioning about your program and who you qualify for clients.
Yeah.
But the question is, are there any things that can disqualify you? For example, can re-entry citizens re-qualify for the program, or people that were on probation and have to wait to expunge seal their criminal records?
We don't care about that. We don't. We help everyone out. In terms of the program, we assist anyone, and that's actually a pretty good question. And I sort of get a similar question a lot. They always ask me like, so do you, like Oscar, Alejandra, do you guys only help Hispanics? Absolutely not. Yes, we're located within the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, but we assist everyone. We don't care about race, gender, cultural background. As long as you're a business owner and already are ready to scale up or interested in government contracting, you've generated revenue, you've had clients, and you want to scale that experience into the government contracting, we will help you.
Yeah. That's perfect. Thank you. And that goes to the same for the Cook County Small Business Source Program. We help anyone. We're just associated with the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce because they allow us to do this great work. So thank you so much, Oscar. If we don't have any other questions, we will be sharing this via email to all the participants. Thank you again for joining us and have a great day.
There's another question.
One last. I have. Oh, yeah. Please go ahead, Kenneth. Maybe you want to unmute them.
Yeah, I believe we're working on that right now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So thank you. After we're approved for certification, do you offer support after the certification with how to secure a bid or how to approach bidding, and things like that?
Absolutely. That's what our program does. It's again, it's government contracting. So if I want to come up with an analogy or sort of like, picture something in your head, um, pretty much we bridge the gap between small businesses or these minority owned businesses and government contracting. We breach that gap. So we're stepping right in the middle and we can help you guys, leverage those. So again, we not only help just to get you certified, because that's nothing. If we help you to get certified, that's fine. You're certified, but then now what? You're not gonna do anything with a certification unless you leverage and use it. So getting certified, it's barely the first steps into government contracting. If you qualify and if you want to get certified, you can just omit that, skip that, and just go straight into government contracting without getting certified. But again, we recommend that if you qualify, of course, get yourself certified. So to answer your question, yes, once you get certified, that's when things, that's when the fun starts, pretty much.
Understood. And then, and I see I have both of your emails here. As we go through this process and the certification gets secured or wherever we're at in the process, do we just continue to communicate through email?
Yeah, pretty much everything is email. We do a lot of virtual meetings. Most of our meetings are virtual. If you happen to be, nearby the office or you want to meet in person, we can also accommodate for that. But yeah, email is the best way to reach us. Phone, you can also call us. But once you send us an email, we'll respond to you. We'll schedule a meeting, and then we'll just we'll keep it from there. But yes, email is the best way.
Perfect. And how do we find the virtual meetings?
Oh, you will need to email us first because you need to, subscribe to the services first. In other words, become a
Sure.
client, and then we'll send you the calendar invite pretty much.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Mhm. I see another question. Absolutely, yeah. Shina, if I'm pronouncing that right, yes, that is correct. So once you reach out to once you guys reach out to us, we will have that initial meeting, 30 minutes, conduct the business assessment ourselves, and based on that, we will let you know whether you're a good fit for the program or not. Again, you could still get assisted by us. It's just that sometimes it becomes a little bit overwhelming and challenging for businesses, especially if they're struggling out there with business. So sometimes we recommend that it might not be the best for you, like the best thing for you to be doing at the moment, or you might not be ready yet in the sense of experience and clients and all that. So we recommend that you give yourself a few months, not just to get yourself better and get more expertise, but to get clients, to get those invoices. Maybe you forgot to file your taxes, so we'll give you time to file your taxes, generate revenue. So all of those things, so you build that experience or past performance, and then you will be a better fit for the program. So for startups, I think Kayla, that's the apex. It's in bottom line is no. Honestly, no, because our focus is government contracting. The focus of the program is to help you with government contracting and certifications if you can leverage those. So I think Kayla, you can answer that question.
Yeah, and I'll dive a little deeper into that. So I believe Oscar's program, and this is how I put it in my analogy, Oscar's more to help grow the business and when you're ready to move on to the next step. And usually we don't recommend startup businesses to the Apex Accelerator program because of that, because there is requirements that they have to do in order for you to be able to get certified or to be able like to get experience in invoicing and clients. Personally, for us, though, we work directly with small businesses, whether you're a startup, whether you're looking to register your LLC, or even start a business plan, right, to help you strategize all your plans for your business. We guide through all of that, and it's at no cost to you guys. It's a free resource, and we do have preliminary requirements, which is you have to be in the Cook County, but we also do have an SBDC center in a house and at the IHCC, which is the Small Business Development Center, and they work closely with startups as well. So we can find whoever can closely help you. If you want to share your email, and we can go ahead and get in contact with you.
Yeah, whether it's my program, Kayla's program, or on any other program, there's something for you to benefit from here at the chamber. We will always help you. Anna, yeah, I think I just unmuted you, Anna. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you. And how about if you have all the certifications? Okay, I have already the DBE, the MBE, the one that is for the whole United States. So I have all those certifications, but my problem is that I don't know how to do a bid. I don't know how to do, the next part. I
Yeah.
am, you guys help with that stuff too, or?
Absolutely. That's the fun part. And it's part of the misconception out there. A lot of people just get certified because they're told to do so, or their friends did it, or someone in the network told them to do so, but they don't even know why they're doing it, right? So the essential part here is to know what the certification holds, what kind of power it holds, and how to leverage it. That's, in other words, helping you navigate different bidding portals and finding you government contracting opportunities, procurement opportunities, helping you, review your proposals, your RFIs, RFPs, providing you insight, feedback on those. So yes.
Thank you. Chill.
Great. If there's no further questions, I think we can close it out. Oh, if you can share the LinkedIn, please. And then we can close it out. Shayna, I'll be getting in contact with you directly via email or phone call to kind of discuss that further. And then we're going to share that LinkedIn really quick, and then we should be able to close out.
I think I got it. Let's see. Did you guys put it in the chat already? Yeah.
You got it. Thank you so much, Oscar.
Mm.
Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today, and we look forward to hearing you reach out to us with any other questions that you may have or resources from us. Thank you so much.